Welcome, listener, to Audiobook Summary, The Power of Control Your Mind. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the greatest obstacle in your life isn't the world around you, it's your own mind. What if the thoughts swirling in your head, the emotions that grip you, and the decisions you make aren't as free as you think? What if they're being shaped by an invisible force, one you've never questioned, one that's been running the show since before you could even speak? That's the bold premise of The Power of Control Your Mind, a no-nonsense audiobook that doesn't just inspire. It equips you with the tools to rewrite the script of your life. Over the next hour, we're going to take a deep dive into this transformative work, exploring how your subconscious mind holds the reins, why it's been calling the shots, and, most importantly, how you can take them back. So, settle in, because by the end of this journey, you'll never think about your thoughts the same way again. Chapter 1. The Hidden Puppet Master. Chapter 1 of How to Control Your Mind hits you with a truth that's both unsettling and liberating. You're not fully in charge of your mind. Right now, as you listen, your thoughts, emotions, and decisions are being shaped by a force you rarely notice, your subconscious. The audiobook paints a striking picture. Your mind is like a computer, running on code written long ago, not by you, but by your past. Your childhood, your parents' words, a teacher's criticism, society's rules. These moments programmed your subconscious, and it's been following that script ever since. The result? Nearly 95% of your daily actions, what you say, how you react, whether you chase a goal or shrink from it, are automatic, driven by habits and beliefs you didn't consciously choose. Think about it. That moment you snapped at a friend, the time you skipped a workout because you weren't feeling it, the self-doubt that stopped you from applying for a better job. Those weren't random. They were your subconscious executing its program, like a reflex you can't quite control. Neuroscience backs this up. Studies show your brain often decides your actions milliseconds before you're aware of them. The audiobook calls this the hidden puppet master, pulling strings you don't even see. That anxiety before a big moment, the urge to procrastinate, they're not just you. They're patterns, etched by years of repetition. But here's the hope. You're not stuck. Chapter 1 introduces a game-changing idea. Your brain is malleable, capable of rewiring itself through neuroplasticity. The beliefs holding you back about your worth, your abilities, your potential aren't fixed truths. They're just code, and you can rewrite it. The chapter doesn't promise quick fixes. It offers a challenge. Become aware of your programming, question it, and start taking control. It's not about manipulating others or chasing shallow hacks. It's about mastering yourself, step by deliberate step. Real-world example, Tara's confidence comeback. Let's bring this to life with Tara, a 34-year-old teacher who felt like she was fading into the background. Tara was kind, dedicated, and great with her students, but she never spoke up in staff meetings or shared her ideas for improving the school. She'd freeze, heart pounding, thinking, they won't take me seriously. Her colleagues got promotions, while Tara stayed stuck, quietly resenting herself. She thought it was just her personality, until she stumbled across a podcast about mindset, echoing Chapter 1's ideas. Tara's hesitation wasn't shyness. It was her subconscious at work. Growing up, her parents praised her for being good and quiet, warning her not to rock the boat. A high school debate coach once called her ideas average, a sting that stuck. Those moments programmed her to believe speaking up meant rejection. Her subconscious ran that script every time she considered sharing, triggering doubt before she could act. Inspired by Chapter 1's call to awareness, Tara started noticing her thoughts. She journaled after meetings, seeing the pattern. "I'm not good enough," surfaced every time. Tracing it back, she realized it wasn't true. It was her parents' caution, her coach's words, not her reality. Her students loved her creative lessons. Parents praised her, evidence she was worth hearing. Tara took a small step, testing the chapter's promise of control. She shared one idea in a meeting, a new way to engage struggling readers. Her voice shook, but her principal nodded, interested. That tiny win sparked a shift. Tara kept at it, speaking up more, each time weakening her old programming. She pitched a school-wide reading program, got it approved, and earned a leadership role. Tara didn't change overnight. She became aware of her puppet master, questioned its script, and acted to rewrite it. Chapter 1's lesson shone through. See the code, challenge it, and you start to break free. Why awareness is the first step. Let's dig deeper into why this matters, because Chapter 1 isn't just about spotting the problem. It's about starting the solution. The audiobook explains that your subconscious thrives in the dark. It runs its programs, fear, hesitation, self-doubt, because you don't notice them. Awareness is like flipping on a light. Suddenly, you see the strings. That's why Tara's journaling was so powerful. It exposed thoughts she'd accepted as just me. The chapter cites psychology. Most limiting beliefs form in childhood, when your brain is in a theta wave state, absorbing everything without question. By age 7, your core programming is set, dictating how you see yourself and the world. But awareness alone isn't enough. You need to question. The audiobook urges you to interrogate your beliefs like a detective. Why do you avoid risks? Why do you feel unworthy? Often, you'll find they're not yours. They're someone else's voice, a parent, a bully, a moment of shame. The beauty of neuroplasticity is that every question, every challenge, starts to loosen those old grooves. Action seals it. Each step outside your programming, like Tara's meeting, tells your brain, this is possible. Real-world example, Raj's fitness breakthrough. Now, meet Raj, a 40-year-old software engineer who hated his body. Raj wasn't obese, but he was out of shape, tired, and avoided mirrors. He'd start diets or gym plans, only to quit, blaming no time or bad genes. Raj thought he was just not a fitness guy, until a coworker recommended a book on mindset, mirroring Chapter 1's insights. Raj's struggle wasn't laziness, it was programming. Growing up, his family teased his clumsiness, saying, "You're not built for sports." A gym class failure, tripping during a race, kids laughing, sealed it. His subconscious decided, I'm not meant to be fit. Every time Raj tried exercising, that script triggered doubt, embarrassment, excuses, stopping him before he started. Chapter 1's call to awareness hit Raj hard. He started tracking his thoughts when he skipped workouts. The pattern was clear. I'll fail, so why try? He traced it back, his family's jokes, that gym class moment. Were they true? Raj was disciplined at work, solving complex code. Why not with fitness? He challenged his programming, deciding, I can improve my health. To test it, he took one action, a 15-minute walk daily. No gym, no pressure, just movement. He felt awkward, but he kept going, noticing small wins, more energy, better mood. Those walks became jogs, then gym sessions. Raj lost 20 pounds in a year, but more importantly, he felt capable. He didn't become a bodybuilder. He rewired his mind, seeing fitness as possible, not forbidden. Chapter 1's truth rang true. Spot your subconscious script, question it, act against it, and you start to take control. The bigger picture, you're not your programming. Chapter 1's heart is empowerment. Your subconscious may be running the show, but it's not the boss. You are. The audiobook stresses that your programming isn't your identity. It's just a starting point. Tara didn't have to stay quiet. Raj didn't have to stay unfit. Their stories show that control begins with seeing the puppet master for what it is, a set of habits, not a life sentence. The chapter cites brain studies. Consistent action can weaken old neural pathways in weeks, forming new ones that align with your goals. It's not instant, but it's real. The chapter also warns of resistance. Your subconscious loves the familiar, so it'll push back when you challenge it. Doubt, fear, that urge to quit. That's not failure. It's proof you're rattling the cage. The key is persistence. Notice, question, act, repeat. Tara's shaky voice in that first meeting, Raj's awkward walks. They were breakthroughs, not setbacks. The audiobook calls this the first crack in the wall. Every action widens it, until the old programming crumbles. Real-world example, Sophia's creative revival. One more story to drive it home. Sophia, a 27-year-old barista, loved painting but hadn't touched a brush in years. She'd dream of art school, then dismiss it, thinking, I'm not talented enough. Customers raved about her coffee shop doodles, but Sophia brushed it off, stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. She thought it was just reality, until a friend shared a mindset app, sparking ideas straight from Chapter 1. Sophia's block was her subconscious. As a kid, her art teacher ignored her work, praising better students. Her dad, practical, said art was a hobby, not a life. Those moments wired her to believe she wasn't a real artist. Her subconscious ran that script, stopping her from painting, whispering she'd fail. Sophia embraced Chapter 1's challenge. She started noticing her thoughts when she avoided art. "I'm not good enough," was the refrain. She traced it. Her teacher's neglect, her dad's words. Were they true? Customers loved her sketches. Friends begged for her drawings. Maybe she was talented. Sophia questioned her script, deciding, "I create art that matters." She acted small, one sketch nightly, no pressure. Each drawing chipped away at her doubt, her hands steadier, her ideas bolder. Sophia joined an art class, then shared her work online. Likes poured in, then commissions. She applied to a local gallery show and got in. Sophia didn't become Picasso. She rewired her mind to see her talent, not her limits. Chapter 1's steps, awareness, questioning, action, set her free. Chapter 2, the silent architect of your reality. Chapter 2 of How to Control Your Mind pulls back the curtain on a profound idea. Your reality isn't what is. It's what your subconscious makes it. The audiobook calls your subconscious the silent architect, a master builder that doesn't just store memories or habits. It shapes your entire experience of the world. It's not passive, it's active, filtering every sight, sound, and sensation to match the beliefs you hold deep inside. Ever wonder why some people seem to glide through life with confidence, spotting opportunities everywhere, while others feel stuck, seeing only barriers? It's not chance, it's programming. The chapter introduces a key mechanism, the reticular activating system, or RAS, your brain's gatekeeper. Picture your mind as a bustling airport with millions of signals, sights, sounds, thoughts, trying to land every second. Your brain can't handle them all, so the RAS decides what gets through based on what your subconscious deems important. It's like a mental spotlight, illuminating what aligns with your beliefs and dimming the rest. The audiobook uses a relatable example. Buy a new phone, and suddenly you notice everyone using the same one. They were always there, but your RAS only tuned in once it mattered to you. Now, apply that to your life. If you believe deep down that you're unworthy, your RAS will highlight every slight, every rejection, while ignoring your strengths. If you think success is for others, it'll blind you to the possibilities right under your nose. But here's the revolutionary part. You can reprogram this filter. Chapter 2 explains that your subconscious doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. It accepts what you feed it. Feed it fear, and it builds a world of scarcity. Feed it confidence, and it constructs a reality of abundance. The audiobook outlines 3 keys to shift your RAS: exposure, repetition, and emotional intensity. Surround yourself with ideas and people that reflect the life you want. Repeat empowering beliefs until they're second nature. Infuse them with feeling, because emotion is the language of the subconscious. This isn't about faking it. It's about training your mind to see what's possible. Real-world example, Maya's career pivot. Let's meet Maya, a 29-year-old office administrator who felt trapped in a dead-end job. Maya was talented, organized, quick-thinking, great with people, but she never applied for better roles. Why? Her subconscious was filtering her world through a belief. I'm not qualified for more. Growing up, her parents, cautious immigrants, stressed stability over ambition, saying, stick to what you know, don't risk failure. A college advisor once told her she lacked the polish for leadership. Those words stuck, wiring her RAS to notice every flaw in herself, every typo in an email, every time she stumbled in a meeting, while ignoring her wins, like streamlining office systems or earning her boss's trust. Maya's shift began when a friend shared a TED Talk about mindset, echoing Chapter 2's ideas. She realized her reality, stuck, unworthy, wasn't fixed, it was filtered. She started with exposure, diving into podcasts by women leaders who'd pivoted careers. Their stories showed her what was possible, nudging her RAS to notice opportunity. Next, repetition, Maya chose a new belief. I'm capable of growth and impact. She wrote it in her journal, said it each morning, picturing herself thriving in a new role, marketing, something creative she'd always loved. She leaned into the emotion, feeling the excitement of presenting ideas, the pride of success. Then, action. Maya enrolled in an online marketing course, something her old filter would have dismissed as not for me. As she learned, her RAS shifted. She noticed job postings she'd once ignored, connections in her network who worked in marketing. She applied for an entry-level role, nailed the interview by focusing on her transferable skills, and got the job. A year later, Maya was leading campaigns, not because she was suddenly qualified, but because she'd retrained her subconscious to see potential where it once saw limits. Chapter 2 came alive. Expose your mind to possibility. Repeat a new truth. Feel it, and your reality reshapes. Why the filter matters. Let's dig deeper into why this matters, because Chapter 2 isn't just about noticing new things. It's about rewriting your life script. The audiobook explains that your RAS doesn't just filter, it creates. It's why two people can face the same situation and see completely different worlds. Lose a job, and one person's RAS, programmed for failure, spots only closed doors, bills piling up, rejection emails. Another's, wired for opportunity, sees a chance to pivot, new skills to learn, networks to tap. Your subconscious doesn't judge, it delivers what you've taught it to expect. This is where emotion comes in. The chapter cites neuroscience. Your brain prioritizes what's emotionally charged. That's why fear sticks so hard. If you're scared of failing, your RAS locks onto every risk, amplifying it. But it works both ways. Infuse a belief with joy, pride, or hope, and your subconscious latches on, spotlighting evidence to match. The audiobook stresses consistency, too. One new thought won't shift years of programming. You need repetition, like watering a plant daily until it takes root. Over time, your RAS recalibrates, and what once felt impossible becomes natural. Real-world example, Noah's financial awakening. Now, picture Noah, a 38-year-old graphic designer, drowning in debt. Noah wasn't reckless. He paid bills, budgeted, but money always slipped away. He lived paycheck to paycheck, stressed, believing, "I'll never get ahead." His subconscious filter was built early. His single mom struggled financially, always saying, "Money's tight, we make do." A teenage job rejection, told he wasn't worth the wage, cemented it. Noah's RAS worked overtime, noticing every expense, every unexpected cost, while blinding him to opportunities, like freelancing or negotiating raises. Noah's wake-up call came at a community center talk on wealth building, straight out of Chapter 2's playbook. He saw his scarcity mindset wasn't fate, it was a filter. Noah started exposing himself to new ideas, reading books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and following financial coaches online. Their stories, people starting from nothing, building wealth, opened his eyes. He chose a new belief. I create financial freedom through smart choices. He repeated it daily, standing in his tiny apartment, visualizing a savings account growing, feeling the relief of stability. Emotion made it stick. Noah imagined paying off his credit card, the weight lifting, then he acted. He took a freelancing gig he'd once ignored, fearing it was too much work. His RAS, now tuned to abundance, noticed clients needing his skills. He negotiated a small raise at his day job, something his old filter would have deemed impossible. Each step, saving $50, then $500, rewired his mind. Within 2 years, Noah cleared his debt and built an emergency fund, not because money appeared, but because he shifted his filter to see possibility. Chapter 2's formula, exposure, repetition, emotion, turned his scarcity into surplus. The power of choice. Chapter 2's heart is choice. Your subconscious may be the architect, but you pick the blueprint. The audiobook reminds us that your RAS isn't good or bad. It's neutral, amplifying what you feed it. Believe you're stuck, and it'll show you walls. Believe you're capable, and it'll reveal doors. Maya and Noah prove this. Maya didn't change her skills. She changed her filter, seeing herself as a leader, not a follower. Noah didn't win the lottery. He rewired his RAS to spot financial wins, not losses. Their stories show that reality isn't fixed. It's flexible, shaped by the lens you choose. The chapter also warns of traps. Your subconscious loves the familiar, so it'll resist new beliefs at first. That's why repetition matters. Say it, feel it, again and again. Environment is key, too. Surround yourself with negativity, and your RAS will mirror it. Seek inspiration, people, books, ideas, and it'll amplify that instead. The audiobook cites studies. Consistent exposure to positive input can shift perception in weeks, rewiring how you see the world. It's not magic. It's your brain doing what it's built to do. Real-world example, Elena's social transformation. One more story to drive it home. Elena, a 33-year-old nurse, felt lonely. She wanted friends, connection, but her default was isolation. She'd go to events, then leave early, thinking, I don't fit in. Her subconscious was programmed young, bullied in school for her accent. She internalized, I'm an outsider. Her RAS filtered her world, spotlighting awkward moments, someone's glance, a missed joke, while ignoring smiles, invitations, warmth. Elena's breakthrough came via a coworker's book club, where a discussion on mindset sparked Chapter 2's ideas. She realized her loneliness wasn't reality. It was her filter. Elena started exposing herself to connection, joining online groups for hikers, something she loved. She read stories of people building friendships later in life, letting her RAS see it was possible. Her new belief, I attract genuine connection. She said it each night, picturing laughing with friends, feeling their acceptance, letting joy sink in. Action rewired her. Elena went on a group hike, nervous but determined. She stayed, chatted, stumbled, but noticed someone's kind reply, not just her own awkwardness. Her RAS was shifting, catching warmth she'd missed before. She kept going, coffee meetups, book club debates, each time seeing more openness, less judgment. A year later, Elena had a tight circle of friends, not because people changed, but because she'd retrained her subconscious to see belonging. Chapter 2's keys, exposure, repetition, emotion, unlocked her world. Chapter 3, rewiring the code of your mind. Chapter 3 of How to Control Your Mind grabs you by the shoulders and says, your mind isn't fixed, it's moldable. It's not a locked vault of thoughts and habits you're doomed to live with forever. Instead, it's a living system, one you can reshape with intention and action. The audiobook calls this process rewiring the code, and it's built on a scientific truth, neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new connections and weaken old ones. Every thought you think, every action you take, carves a path in your brain. Doubt yourself for years? That's a deep, well-worn groove. Procrastinate endlessly? That's another. But here's the hope. You can carve new paths, confidence, focus, resilience, by challenging the old ones and acting differently. The chapter starts with a wake-up call. Most of your beliefs weren't chosen. They were installed, often before you were 7 years old. Back then, your brain was in a theta wave state, like a sponge soaking up everything. Your parents' words, a teacher's criticism, a moment of embarrassment. If you were told, life is hard, your subconscious filed it as fact. If you were scolded for failing, it built a fear of trying. These aren't truths, they're programs, running your life on autopilot. The audiobook estimates that 95% of your daily actions, snapping at a loved one, avoiding a challenge, feeling unworthy, are automatic, driven by these hidden scripts. But you're not stuck. Chapter 3 lays out a clear path to reprogram: awareness, replacement, and action. First, shine a light on your beliefs. What do you believe about yourself, success, or possibility? Where did those ideas come from? Next, replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones, repeating them with emotion to make them stick. Finally, act, because action is what rewires your brain, proving to your subconscious that change is real. It's not about wishful thinking. It's about deliberate practice, like a musician learning a new song, note by note, until it flows effortlessly. Real-world example, Aisha's public speaking triumph. Let's bring this to life with Aisha, a 30-year-old nonprofit coordinator who dreaded public speaking. Every time she had to present, whether to her team or a fundraiser, her heart raced, her voice shook, and her mind screamed, "You're going to mess this up." Aisha assumed she was just shy, but her fear wasn't natural, it was programmed. Growing up, her older siblings teased her for being quiet, and a middle school teacher once humiliated her for stumbling over a book report. Those moments wired her subconscious to equate speaking up with failure and judgment. Aisha's turning point came when she attended a workshop on mindset, where ideas straight out of Chapter 3 hit home. She started with awareness, journaling her thoughts before presentations. She noticed the same beliefs surfacing. I'm bad at this, and everyone will see it. Tracing it back, she saw her siblings teasing, her teachers scorn, not facts, but old stories. Aisha challenged them. Was it true she was bad? Her colleagues respected her ideas, and her written reports always got praise. Maybe she wasn't doomed. Next, replacement. Aisha chose a new belief. I communicate with clarity and confidence. She wrote it down, stuck it on her laptop, and said it every morning, picturing herself speaking boldly, feeling the pride of nailing it. At first, it felt forced, but she leaned into the emotion, letting it sink in. Then came action, the hardest part. Aisha volunteered to lead a small team meeting, something she'd avoided for years. Her hands shook, but she spoke, focusing on her message. The team listened, nodded, even clapped. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. Aisha kept at it, presenting more, each time reinforcing her new belief. Within months, she pitched a major fundraiser to donors, her voice steady, her points sharp. The room erupted in applause, and Aisha felt something new, not fear, but power. She hadn't become a natural speaker. She'd rewired her mind, proving Chapter 3's truth. Identify the old code, replace it, act on it, and your brain adapts. Aisha's subconscious no longer saw speaking as danger, it saw it as strength. Deepening the process, why it works. Let's pause to dig deeper into why this rewiring works, because Chapter 3 doesn't just tell you what to do, it explains the how. Your subconscious doesn't argue or analyze, it absorbs patterns through repetition and emotion. Think about a song stuck in your head. Play it enough, and it's there whether you like it or not. Beliefs work the same way. If you've spent years thinking, I'm not enough, that's a neural highway, wide and smooth. Building a new one, like I'm capable, takes time, but it's doable. The audiobook cites studies showing that consistent practice can rewire neural pathways in weeks, sometimes days, if you pair it with strong feelings. That's why Aisha didn't just say her new belief. She felt it, visualized it, made it real. The chapter also emphasizes environment. Your subconscious is shaped by what surrounds you. People, media, routines. If you're around negativity, your brain soaks it up. If you immerse yourself in inspiration, books, mentors, success stories, it rewires toward possibility. It's like planting a garden. Clear the weeds, old beliefs, sow new seeds, empowering thoughts, and nurture them with sunlight, action, and emotion. Over time, the new grows stronger, the old fades. Real-world example, Liam's entrepreneurial leap. Now, meet Liam, a 42-year-old mechanic who dreamed of starting his own repair shop, but never took the plunge. Liam wasn't lazy, he was trapped by a belief. I'm not a business guy. Growing up, his dad, a factory worker, drilled into him that people like us don't own things, we work for them. A high school counselor once laughed off Liam's idea of entrepreneurship, saying he wasn't cut out for it. Those words stuck, wiring Liam's subconscious to see business as out of reach, meant for others, smarter, richer, luckier. Liam's wake-up call came when a coworker shared a podcast about mindset, echoing Chapter 3's call to rewire. Liam started questioning his belief. Was it true he couldn't run a business? He was great with cars, had loyal customers, and knew the trade inside out. Maybe he was cut out for it. Awareness hit hard. His dad's words, the counselor's dismissal, they weren't facts, just limits he'd accepted. Liam began replacing the old script with a new one. I'm a capable entrepreneur who creates value. He repeated it daily, standing in his garage, picturing a bustling shop, feeling the thrill of signing his own lease. To make it stick, he changed his environment, reading books by small business owners, watching YouTube channels on startups, even joining a local entrepreneurs group. Their stories drowned out the old voices, showing him what was possible. Action sealed the deal. Liam started small, offering side repairs from home, testing his skills as a business owner. Each job, fixing a neighbor's car, earning a referral, built his confidence. He saved every dollar, wrote a business plan, and, heart-pounding, applied for a loan. When it was approved, Liam cried, not from fear, but from realizing he'd rewritten his mind. A year later, his shop was open, busy with customers. Liam wasn't a natural entrepreneur. He'd followed Chapter 3 steps. Spot the belief, replace it, act, surround yourself with support. His subconscious, once a barrier, now fueled his success. The bigger picture: you are not your past. Chapter 3 isn't just about changing one belief, it's about reclaiming your power. The audiobook drives home that your past doesn't define you. Your choices do. Those childhood moments, those offhand remarks that shaped you, they're not your truth. They're just data your brain stored, and you can rewrite it. Aisha and Liam show us how. Aisha didn't erase her fear of speaking. She built a new neural path of confidence, step by step. Liam didn't ignore his upbringing. He replaced its limits with possibility, action by action. Their stories aren't exceptions. They're proof that anyone can rewire, no matter how deep the old grooves run. The chapter also warns of pitfalls. Rewiring isn't instant. It takes persistence. Your subconscious will cling to the familiar, whispering doubts as you try new beliefs. That's normal. The key is consistency. Repeat your new truth. Act on it, even when it feels fake. Over time, it becomes real. The audiobook cites brain scans showing new pathways forming after just 21 days of practice. Not a magic number, but a reminder that change is tangible, measurable, within reach. Real-world example: Priya's relationship reset. One more story, because Chapter 3's power shines brightest in action. Priya, a 35-year-old teacher, struggled with relationships. She kept choosing partners who dismissed her, leaving her feeling unworthy. Priya thought it was bad luck, but it was her subconscious, programmed by her first boyfriend, who belittled her dreams, and a mother who said, "Don't expect too much from love." Those experiences built a belief: I don't deserve better. Priya's shift began when a friend recommended a book on self-worth, sparking ideas straight from Chapter 3. She got aware, writing down her thoughts after yet another breakup. The pattern was clear: I'm not worth loving fully. Tracing it back, she saw her ex's cruelty, her mom's warnings, not truths, but wounds. Priya challenged them. She was kind, successful, valued by friends. Why not in love? She replaced the old belief with I deserve healthy, mutual love. She said it daily, journaling how it would feel: safe, respected, joyful. She visualized a partner who saw her worth, letting the emotions sink in. To reinforce it, Priya changed her environment, distancing herself from toxic friends and joining a community group where people uplifted each other. Action was toughest. Priya started setting boundaries, saying no to dismissive behavior. Her next date ignored her input. She ended it, heart racing, but proud. Slowly, she attracted better connections, eventually meeting someone who matched her new belief: kind, attentive, real. Priya's story echoes Aisha's and Liam's. Awareness uncovered the program. Replacement built a new one. Action made it reality. Chapter 3 worked for her, not by magic, but by rewiring her mind to expect and demand what she deserved. Chapter 4, The Battle Within. Chapter 4 of How to Control Your Mind frames your mind as a war zone, a clash between your conscious dreams and your subconscious instincts. Ever set a goal, like writing a book or getting fit, only to sabotage yourself a week later? That's not weakness, it's resistance, and it's built into your brain. The audiobook calls this the comfort zone trap. Your conscious mind craves growth, new skills, big wins, but your subconscious loves safety, equating change with danger. It's like trying to drive a car forward while the parking brake is on. You might move, but it's a struggle. Why does this happen? The chapter explains it's evolutionary. Thousands of years ago, sticking to the familiar, known paths, safe caves, kept you alive. Step into the unknown, and you risked predators or starvation. Today, that instinct lingers, showing up as procrastination, self-doubt, or anxiety when you try something new. Want to pitch an idea at work? Your subconscious whispers, what if they laugh? Try to wake up early? It begs, stay in bed, it's safer. The audiobook estimates this resistance derails 80% of our goals, not because we're lazy, but because our subconscious is wired to prioritize predictability over progress. But you can win this war. Chapter 4 offers 3 killer strategies: the 5-second rule, gradual exposure, and identity shifting. The 5-second rule is simple. When resistance hits, say, the urge to skip a workout, count 5-4-3-2-1 and act before doubt takes over. It's a mental override, short-circuiting your subconscious brakes. Gradual exposure means easing into change with small steps, making the unfamiliar feel safe over time. Most powerfully, shift your identity. Decide you're someone who acts, not hesitates, and your subconscious will align. These aren't tricks, they're tools to rewire your brain, leveraging neuroplasticity to make change stick. Real-world example, Jamal's writing victory. Let's meet Jamal, a 31-year-old IT specialist with a dream to write a novel. Jamal loved storytelling. His friends raved about his ideas, but every time he sat down to write, he'd freeze. He'd scroll social media, clean his desk, anything but type. He thought he lacked discipline, but Chapter 4's insights showed him the truth. It was resistance. Growing up, Jamal's dad dismissed his stories as a waste of time, and a college professor once trashed his essay, saying it lacked depth. Those moments programmed his subconscious to see writing as risky, triggering procrastination to protect him. Jamal stumbled across a webinar on mindset, echoing Chapter 4's battle plan. He started with the 5-second rule. When he felt the urge to avoid writing, he'd count 5-4-3-2-1 and type one sentence. Just one. It felt silly, but it worked, bypassing his doubt long enough to start. Some days, that sentence became a paragraph, then a page. Resistance didn't vanish, but it weakened. Next, he tried exposure. Instead of aiming for a whole chapter, he set a goal, 100 words daily. Small, doable, it tricked his subconscious into seeing writing as safe. Over weeks, 100 became 500, then 1,000. The real game changer was identity. Jamal stopped saying, "I'm trying to write," and started saying, "I'm a writer." He visualized himself finishing his novel, feeling the pride of holding it. Each time he wrote, he reinforced this identity, aligning his subconscious with his goal. A year later, Jamal had a 70,000-word draft, not perfect, but real. He didn't banish resistance. He learned to fight it, proving Chapter 4's truth. Count down, start small, become the person who does it, and the battle tips in your favor. Why resistance feels so strong? Let's unpack why this fight feels so intense. Because Chapter 4 doesn't just name the enemy, it shows you its moves. The audiobook explains that resistance isn't personal, it's biological. Your subconscious uses emotions like fear or lethargy to keep you in your comfort zone, because to your ancient brain, new equals unsafe. Neuroscience backs this. The amygdala, your brain's alarm system, lights up when you face uncertainty, flooding you with hesitation. That's why starting a new habit, like meditating or public speaking, feels like climbing a mountain at first. Your subconscious isn't trying to ruin you. It's trying to save you, based on outdated wiring. But here's the edge. Your conscious mind can outsmart it. The 5-second rule works because it leverages the prefrontal cortex, your decision maker, before the amygdala hijacks you. Exposure rewires because small, repeated actions teach your brain that change isn't a threat. Identity shifting is the ultimate weapon. Your subconscious loves consistency. So when you act like the person you want to be, it rewires to match. The chapter cites studies showing habits form faster when tied to identity. Think, "I'm a runner," versus, "I'm trying to run." It's not magic. It's your brain aligning with who you claim to be. Real-world example, Lena's health transformation. Now, picture Lena, a 45-year-old accountant who wanted to get healthy. Lena wasn't unfit, but years of desk work left her sluggish, her cholesterol creeping up. She'd buy gym memberships, vow to eat better, then quit. Snacks replaced salads, Netflix trumped workouts. Lena thought she lacked willpower, but Chapter 4 revealed it was resistance. As a kid, her gym-obsessed brother mocked her slow runs, and her mom said, "You're fine, don't push yourself." Her subconscious learned, exercise equals embarrassment, so stay safe, stay still. Lena's shift started with a health seminar, straight out of Chapter 4's playbook. She embraced the 5-second rule. When she felt the pull to skip her evening walk, she'd count 5-4-3-2-1 and step outside, even for 10 minutes. It wasn't much, but it broke the cycle of excuses. Exposure came next. Instead of a gym, too scary, she started with home yoga videos, 5 minutes daily. Her subconscious, expecting failure, was surprised. No mockery, no pain. She bumped it to 10 minutes, then 20, adding light weights. Identity sealed it. Lena stopped saying, "I'm trying to be healthy," and declared, "I'm someone who takes care of my body." She visualized herself strong, vibrant, feeling the energy of movement. Each walk, each stretch reinforced this. Resistance fought back, cravings, fatigue, but Lena persisted. A year later, she was down 15 pounds, her cholesterol normal, running 5 Burmese shots with ease. Lena didn't become an athlete. She won her inner battle, using Chapter 4's tools, countdown, small steps, identity, to rewire her mind for health. The stakes of the fight. Chapter 4's power lies in its clarity. Resistance isn't a flaw, it's a signal you're growing. The audiobook frames every doubt, every stall, as proof you're pushing your limits. That's why Jamal's blank pages, Lena's skipped workouts, weren't failures, they were battles. The chapter warns against giving in. Let resistance win, and your subconscious strengthens its grip, making change harder next time. But fight through, and you rewire your brain, making progress easier. Studies cited show new habits take 66 days on average to stick, less if you use tools like the 5-second rule or identity shifts. Environment matters, too. Surround yourself with triggers for old habits, say, junk food or negative friends, and resistance has ammunition. Curate your space, healthy snacks, supportive people, and you tilt the odds. The audiobook calls this stacking the deck. Make change easier by shaping what's around you. It's not about willpower, it's about strategy. Real-world example, May's career confidence. One more story to cement it. May, a 28-year-old graphic designer, dreamed of freelancing but stayed in a draining corporate job. She'd planned to build a portfolio, then procrastinate, scrolling, tweaking old designs, never launching. May thought she wasn't ready, but Chapter 4 showed it was resistance. Growing up, her parents prized security, saying, "Don't gamble with your future." A boss once called her work safe but uninspired, wiring her subconscious to avoid risks, equating freelancing with failure. May's breakthrough came via a podcast on overcoming fear, mirroring Chapter 4. She tried the 5-second rule. When she felt the urge to delay her portfolio, she'd count 5-4-3-2-1 and design one piece. Anything. It got her moving, sidestepping her brain's panic. Exposure helped. She set a tiny goal, post one design online weekly. Her subconscious, braced for criticism, found likes instead, easing its alarm. She upped it, 2 posts, then a client pitch. Identity was her anchor. May started saying, "I'm a freelance designer, not I want to be." She visualized clients praising her work, felt the freedom of her own schedule. She curated her environment, followed creatives online, joined a co-working space, ditched naysayer friends. Resistance fought, late-night doubts, imposter syndrome, but May pushed through. Within a year, she had 5 steady clients, her corporate job a memory. May didn't erase fear. She beat resistance with Chapter 4's arsenal. Countdown, steps, identity, building a mind that embraced risk. Chapter 5, The Power of Identity. Chapter 5 of How to Control Your Mind delivers a bombshell. The most powerful force shaping your life isn't your circumstances, your skills, or even your willpower. It's your identity. The audiobook calls identity your subconscious's blueprint, the story you tell yourself about who you are. Are you someone who never follows through? Someone who's not good with money? Your subconscious doesn't argue. It accepts these labels and builds your reality around them, filtering every choice, every reaction to match. If you see yourself as a procrastinator, you'll delay. If you think you're unlovable, you'll sabotage relationships. It's not magic, it's wiring. The chapter explains why identity is so potent. Your subconscious craves consistency. It's like a loyal employee, working tirelessly to align your actions with your self-image, because any mismatch feels like a threat. Neuroscience backs this. Studies show your brain's prefrontal cortex, which handles self-perception, lights up when you act in line with your identity, rewarding you with dopamine. Act against it, and you get stress, resistance, doubt. That's why change is hard. Your subconscious isn't just fighting a habit. It's defending who it thinks you are. But here's the breakthrough. You can rewrite your identity. Chapter 5 offers a clear path. Decide who you want to be, act as that person, and reinforce it with emotion and environment. Want to be confident? Act confident, even when it feels fake. Speak up, stand tall. Want to be disciplined? Show up, even for a minute. Each action tells your subconscious, this is me now. Pair it with vivid visualization. Picture yourself as that person, feel the pride, and surround yourself with cues that match, like inspiring people or a tidy workspace. Over time, your brain rewires, making your new identity automatic. Real-world example, Carlos's leadership leap. Let's meet Carlos, a 36-year-old warehouse supervisor who felt like a fraud. Carlos was good at his job. His team hit targets, his boss trusted him, but he never saw himself as a leader. He'd dodge big decisions, defer to others, and shy away from promotions, thinking, I'm just a worker, not a boss. His identity was programmed early. His parents, blue-collar immigrants, praised hard work over big ideas, and a high school coach called him not captain material. His subconscious locked in, I follow, I don't lead. Carlos's shift began at a company training session, where ideas straight from Chapter 5 hit home. He realized his worker identity was holding him back, not his skills. He decided to rewrite it. I'm a confident leader who inspires. It sounded bold, almost silly, but he leaned in. Carlos started acting the part, making one firm decision daily, like reassigning tasks to balance workloads. At first, it felt unnatural, but his team responded, efficiency climbing. He visualized himself leading with ease, feeling the respect of his crew, the thrill of solving problems. Emotion and environment sealed it. Carlos repeated his new identity every morning, standing tall, picturing a corner office. He swapped lunchroom gripes for talks with ambitious colleagues and read books by leaders like Satya Nadella. His subconscious, craving consistency, began to shift. Hesitation faded, confidence grew. When a manager role opened, Carlos applied, aced the interview, and got it. A year later, he was mentoring new supervisors, not because he was born a leader, but because he rewrote his identity. Chapter 5's lesson shown. Decide who you are, act like it, feel it, surround it, and your mind makes it real. Why identity drives everything. Let's dig deeper, because Chapter 5 doesn't just name identity. It shows why it's the linchpin. The audiobook explains that your subconscious isn't random. It's a pattern seeker, constantly checking if your actions match your self-image. Think of it like a GPS. If you stray from who you are, it reroutes you fast. Identify as bad with money. You'll overspend to prove it. See yourself as unlucky. You'll miss opportunities, confirming it. Studies cited show self-perception shapes behavior more than external factors. Your brain literally rewires to match your identity, strengthening neural pathways with every aligned action. This is why willpower fails. You can force a diet or a deadline, but if your identity is I'm unhealthy or I'm a procrastinator, your subconscious will pull you back. Chapter 5 flips this. Don't fight habits. Change the route. Carlos didn't just decide to lead. He became a leader, making decisions natural. The chapter stresses emotion. Your subconscious learns faster when feelings, pride, joy, are involved because they signal importance. Visualization amplifies this, blurring the line between imagination and reality. Add a supportive environment, people, spaces, routines, and you're not just changing, you're transforming. Real-world example, Amara's financial turnaround. Now, picture Amara, a 42-year-old nurse drowning in financial stress. Amara wasn't reckless. She earned well, but bills piled up, savings stayed empty. She tried budgeting, then splurged, thinking, I'm just bad with money. Her identity was set young. Her parents fought over cash, calling themselves broke forever, and a teenage job paid her late, reinforcing money slips away. Her subconscious ensured it did, nudging her toward impulse buys to match her bad label. Amara's wake-up call came via a co-worker's finance blog, echoing Chapter 5. She saw her problem wasn't math, it was identity. She chose a new one. I'm a wise money manager. It felt foreign, but she acted on it, starting small, tracking 1 week's expenses, no pressure. It worked. She spotted leaks, like daily coffees. Amara visualized a full savings account, feeling the security, the freedom. She repeated, I manage money well, each night, letting pride sink in. Her environment shifted, too. She unfollowed sale ads, followed frugal influencers, and joined a savings group. Each action, saving $20, skipping a splurge, told her subconscious, "This is me." Resistance flared, urges to shop, but Amara persisted. Within a year, she had $5,000 saved, debt shrinking. She wasn't rich. She'd become someone who controlled money, not the other way around. Chapter 5's formula, new identity, small actions, emotion, environment, rewrote Amara's reality. The ripple effect of identity. Chapter 5's genius is its scope. Identity doesn't just change one thing. It changes everything. The audiobook explains that once your subconscious buys a new self-image, it ripples across your life. Become someone who acts. Procrastination fades, goals stick. Become someone who connects. Relationships deepen, loneliness wanes. It's why Carlos's leadership spilled into confidence at home, why Amara's savings boosted her self-esteem. Studies show identity-based change lasts longer than goal-based. When you are the change, you don't need to force it. The chapter warns of traps. Your old identity will fight back, whispering, "This isn't you." That's normal. Your subconscious hates inconsistency. Push through with repetition and proof. Small wins, like Amara's $20, stack up. Environment is critical. Old cues, negative friends, cluttered spaces, reinforce old you. New ones, mentors, organized desks, cement new you. The audiobook calls this identity architecture. Build a world that reflects who you're becoming. Real-world example, Theo's social shift. One more story to seal it. Theo, a 30-year-old barista, felt invisible socially. He wanted friends, a partner, but stayed quiet, thinking, "I'm not likable." His identity formed early. Shy in school, he was ignored by peers, and a cousin mocked, "You're boring." His subconscious ran with it, keeping him on the sidelines, avoiding connection to stay safe. Theo's change sparked at a self-help meetup, where Chapter 5's ideas clicked. He decided, "I'm a warm, engaging person." It felt like a stretch, but he acted, smiling at one customer daily, asking, "How's your day?" Responses were kind, surprising his subconscious. Theo visualized laughing with friends, feeling their warmth, repeating, "I connect easily," with joy. He ditched isolating habits, endless gaming, joined a book club, and followed outgoing creators online. Resistance hit, awkward chats, old shyness, but Theo kept going. Each conversation, each invite, built his new identity. A year later, Theo had a tight friend group and was dating, not because he forced it, but because he became likable. Chapter 5 worked. Choose your identity, act, feel, surround. Your mind follows. Chapter 6, Breaking the Chains. Chapter 6 of How to Control Your Mind hits like a thunderclap. The limits you live with, about success, love, money, yourself, are not real. They're mental chains, forged by old beliefs your subconscious has accepted as gospel. The audiobook calls these invisible shackles, illusions that feel like truth because they've been repeated for so long. Ever told yourself you're not good enough to chase a dream? That money is too hard to earn? That's not reality. It's programming, and it's holding you hostage. The chapter lays bare how these chains form. Most of your beliefs were installed in childhood, when your brain was a sponge, absorbing everything: parents' fears, teachers' judgments, peers' taunts. If you heard "don't aim too high," your subconscious filed it away. If you failed once and were shamed, it built a chain. "I'm a failure." Neuroscience supports this. Early experiences shape neural pathways, and by adulthood, these paths run 95% of your actions on autopilot. That hesitation to take a risk, that guilt for wanting more, it's not you. It's the chains tightening. But here's the liberation. You can break them. Chapter 6 offers a 3-step blueprint. Question, replace, act. First, question your beliefs. Is it true you're not enough? Trace it back. You'll find it's someone else's voice, not yours. Second, replace it with an empowering truth, repeated with emotion to rewire your mind. Third, act, because action is the hammer that shatters chains. Each step outside your old beliefs proves they're false, leveraging neuroplasticity to carve new paths. The audiobook warns it's not easy. Your subconscious will resist, clinging to the familiar, but every action weakens those shackles until they crumble. Real-world example, Zara's dream pursuit. Let's meet Zara, a 32-year-old receptionist who dreamed of becoming a chef but never tried. Zara loved cooking. Her dinners wowed friends, but she'd tell herself, "I'm not cut out for it." Her chain was forged young. Her mom, a single parent, stressed safe jobs, saying, "Cooking's a hobby, not a career." A school counselor dismissed her culinary interest, pushing clerical work. Zara's subconscious chained her. "I don't belong in big dreams." Zara's breakthrough came via a cooking show interview, echoing Chapter 6's call to break free. She questioned her belief. Was it true she couldn't be a chef? Her friends begged for her recipes. Her dishes sold out at bake sales. Evidence she was talented. Tracing it back, she saw her mom's fear, the counselor's bias, not facts. Zara replaced the chain with, "I'm a chef who creates joy." She said it daily, picturing her own kitchen, feeling the thrill of serving diners. Action was key. Zara enrolled in a weekend cooking class, heart-pounding. She'd never dared before. She excelled, her instructor urging her on. She questioned more chains. "I'm too old, I'll fail," and acted again, interning at a local restaurant. Resistance screamed. She burned dishes, doubted herself, but each shift broke her chains further. A year later, Zara was a line cook, saving for her own food truck. She didn't erase fear. She shattered the belief that held her back, proving Chapter 6's truth. Question, replace, act, and freedom follows. Why chains feel real? Let's dive deeper, because Chapter 6 doesn't just name the chains. It shows why they grip so tightly. The audiobook explains your subconscious doesn't question, it repeats. Beliefs like, "I'm not smart," or "I'm unlucky," aren't truths. They're habits, reinforced by years of thought and action. Studies show neural pathways for old beliefs are like highways, fast, automatic, making them feel like reality. When you try to break free, your brain's amygdala, the fear center, lights up, flooding you with doubt to keep you safe. That's why Zara felt panic signing up for class. It wasn't failure. It was her subconscious clinging to the known. But chains aren't steel. They're paper, and action tears them. The chapter cites neuroplasticity. Each time you act against a belief, you weaken its pathway and build a new one. Emotion amplifies this. Feel the joy of your new truth, and your subconscious learns faster. Environment matters, too. Old cues, naysayers, clutter, tighten chains. New ones, mentors, inspiration, help you break them. The audiobook calls this rewriting your reality, not by wishing, but by proving your chains are lies. Real-world example, Dev's money mindset shift. Now, picture Dev, a 39-year-old teacher drowning in financial worry. Dev wasn't poor. He earned decently, but lived paycheck to paycheck, believing money's always a struggle. His chain formed early. His parents fought over bills, saying, "We'll never get ahead." A teenage job paid him pennies, reinforcing scarcity. His subconscious chained him, nudging overspending to match struggle. Dev's shift sparked at a financial literacy workshop, straight from Chapter 6. He questioned his belief. Was money doomed to be hard? He'd paid off a car loan, saved for a trip once, proof he could manage. Tracing it back, he saw his parents' stress, not truth. Dev replaced it. "I build wealth with ease." He repeated it nightly, visualizing a full bank account, feeling relief and pride. Action broke the chain. Dev started small, saving $10 weekly, skipping one takeout. Resistance hit. Urges to splurge, but he questioned it. Is this my chain talking? He acted again, opening a savings account, then investing $100 in a course on stocks. His environment shifted, unfollowed sale ads, read The Millionaire Next Door, joined a budgeting group. A year later, Dev had $3,000 saved, debt halved. He wasn't rich. He'd shattered scarcity's chain, using Chapter 6's steps, question, replace, act, to rewrite his financial reality. The freedom beyond the chains. Chapter 6's heart is freedom, not from struggle, but from illusions. The audiobook stresses that chains only hold because you believe them. Every question weakens them. Every action cracks them. Zara didn't need a perfect moment to cook. She needed to see her dream wasn't forbidden. Dev didn't need a windfall. He needed to see wealth wasn't impossible. Studies show belief change rewires neural networks in weeks, especially with emotion and repetition. It's why the chapter urges daily practice. Question one belief. Affirm its opposite. Act to prove it. Resistance is the catch. Your subconscious will fight, throwing up fear. What if I fail? Because freedom feels foreign. The audiobook calls this the last gasp of the chain. Push through, and it fades. Environment is your ally. Old settings, toxic voices, chaos, reinforce chains. New ones, support, clarity, break them. It's not about escaping life's challenges. It's about living unchained, choosing your path without invisible weights. Real-world example. Nora's confidence comeback. One more story to drive it home. Nora, a 27-year-old marketing assistant, felt invisible. She had ideas but never shared them, chained by, "I'm not good enough." Her belief formed young. Her dad criticized her silly thoughts, and a middle school speech got laughs, not applause. Her subconscious kept her quiet, avoiding risks to stay safe. Nora's liberation began with a friend's self-help podcast, mirroring Chapter 6. She questioned her chain. Was she really not enough? Her campaigns at work boosted sales. Colleagues asked her advice. Proof she was capable. Tracing it back, she saw her dad's voice, not truth. Nora replaced it. My ideas have value. She said it daily, picturing her team cheering, feeling confidence surge. Action was toughest. Nora shared one idea in a meeting, small, shaky. Her boss liked it. Resistance screamed, "They're just being nice." But she questioned it, acted again, pitching a full campaign. It launched successfully. Nora changed her environment, left negative chats, joined a women's leadership group, read Lean In. A year later, she was a team lead, not because she was fixed, but because she broke her chain with Chapter 6 blueprint. Question, replace, act, surround. Chapter 7, Cultivating Mental Discipline. Chapter 7 of How to Control Your Mind lands with a clear message. Your mind is yours to shape, but only if you learn to discipline it. The audiobook calls mental discipline the gardener of your thoughts, the skill that decides what grows and what withers. Without it, your mind runs wild. Distractions take root, procrastination spreads, and focus fades. With it, you gain control, directing your energy toward what matters, your goals, your growth, your joy. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional, choosing where your attention goes instead of letting it drift. The chapter breaks it down. Mental discipline is built through 3 pillars: focus, habit, and reflection. Focus is about training your attention. Like a spotlight, you aim deliberately, ignoring the noise. Habits are the routines that make discipline automatic, small, repeated actions that compound over time. Reflection is the pause to check your progress, weeding out what doesn't serve you. Neuroscience backs this. Studies show focused practice strengthens the prefrontal cortex, your brain's command center, while habits form neural loops that make good choices effortless. Distractions, meanwhile, trigger dopamine spikes, luring you off track. Your phone's ping, a fleeting worry, can derail hours. Chapter 7 offers practical tools: the Pomodoro technique for focus, habit stacking for routines, and journaling for reflection. Pomodoro breaks work into 25-minute chunks, forcing you to zero in. Habit stacking ties new behaviors to old ones, like meditating after coffee, to make them stick. Journaling lets you spot patterns, like why you procrastinate. The audiobook stresses consistency. Discipline isn't born, it's grown, one choice at a time, rewiring your brain through neuroplasticity to crave focus over chaos. Real-world example, Lila's productivity surge. Let's meet Lila, a 29-year-old freelance writer who felt overwhelmed. Lila loved her work, crafting articles, pitching editors, but her days blurred into chaos. She'd start writing, then check emails, scroll social media, or stress about deadlines, finishing little. She thought she was just disorganized, but Chapter 7 showed her it was a lack of mental discipline. Growing up, her parents let her flip between hobbies, never pushing focus, and college rewarded her last-minute cramming. Her subconscious saw scattered attention as normal, dodging discipline to stay free. Lila's wake-up call came from a productivity app, echoing Chapter 7's pillars. She started with focus, trying Pomodoro, 25 minutes of writing, no interruptions. At first, her mind wandered, itching for her phone, but she persisted, silencing notifications. One session became two, then a morning routine, her word count climbing. For habits, she stacked. After her morning tea, she'd write 100 words. It felt small, but it stuck. 100 became 500, her articles sharper, deadlines met. Reflection tied it together. Lila journaled nightly, asking, what distracted me? What worked? She noticed social media stole hours, her dopamine trap, so she set app limits. Her subconscious, once wired for chaos, began craving focus. Resistance faded. A year later, Lila landed a major client, doubled her income, and felt calm, not frantic. She didn't become a robot. She cultivated discipline, using Chapter 7's tools, focus, habit, reflection, to grow a mind that served her dreams. Why discipline feels hard? Let's unpack why this matters, because Chapter 7 doesn't shy from the struggle. The audiobook explains that your brain loves instant rewards, likes, snacks, mindless scrolling, because they spike dopamine, while discipline's payoff, a finished project, a clear mind, is delayed. Studies show distractions hijack your attention in seconds, but refocusing can take 23 minutes. Your subconscious, shaped by modern life, endless pings, multitasking, leans toward chaos unless trained otherwise. That's why Lila's phone felt like a magnet. It wasn't her, it was wiring. But discipline rewires. The chapter cites neuroplasticity. Repeated focus builds stronger neural paths, making attention easier. Habits automate this. After 66 days on average, routines like Lila's writing became second nature. Reflection sharpens it, letting you prune distractions like a gardener. Environment is key. Clutter, noise, or toxic peers feed chaos. Calm spaces and focused friends nurture discipline. The audiobook calls this tending your garden. Curate your world, and your mind grows strong. Real-world example, Arjun's fitness focus. Now, picture Arjun, a 41-year-old lawyer who wanted to get fit but couldn't stick to it. Arjun wasn't lazy. He'd join gyms, plan runs, but distractions derailed him. Work calls, kids' schedules, or late-night shows pulled him away. He'd skip workouts, feeling guilty. He thought it was no time, but Chapter 7 revealed it was mental discipline. As a kid, Arjun's parents let him quit sports for games, and law school rewarded all-nighters over routine. His subconscious saw distraction as easier than focus, dodging fitness to relax. Arjun's shift sparked at a health talk, straight from Chapter 7. He tackled focus with Pomodoro-style workouts, 25 minutes of weights, no phone. At first, he'd check texts mid-set, but he blocked notifications, finishing sessions uninterrupted. Habits came next. He stacked exercise onto brushing his teeth, 10 push-ups after. Small, it grew. Push-ups became circuits, mornings became gym time. Reflection sealed it. Arjun journaled weekly, noting distractions, work stress, and wins, more energy. He saw late shows ate his sleep, so he set a TV curfew. His environment shifted, swapped bar hangouts for hiking buddies, kept sneakers by his door. Resistance fought, urges to skip, but discipline took root. A year later, Arjun ran a half marathon, 25 pounds lighter, not because he forced it, but because he tended his mind with Chapter 7's pillars: focus, habit, reflection, making fitness his default. The garden's ripple effect. Chapter 7's beauty is its scope. Discipline doesn't just fix one thing, it transforms everything. The audiobook explains that a disciplined mind spills over. Focus at work sharpens your relationships. Routine and health boosts confidence. Lila's writing clarity made her a better friend. Arjun's fitness discipline calmed his stress. Studies show disciplined habits increase self-efficacy. You feel capable, so you try more. It's why the chapter urges starting small. One focused hour, one tiny habit, rewires your brain for bigger wins. Resistance is real. Your subconscious, wired for ease, will tempt you. Scroll, skip, worry. The audiobook calls this weeds in the garden. Pull them with reflection. Why am I distracted? Adjust your world. Mute apps. Seek mentors. Consistency compounds. Every disciplined choice strengthens your mind's roots, making chaos less tempting. It's not about willpower. It's about cultivation, growing a mind that chooses growth over drift. Real-world example. Sanaa's creative clarity. One more story to bring it home. Sanaa, a 34-year-old illustrator, felt creatively stuck. She'd start projects, murals, comics, but lose steam, distracted by doubts or endless research. She thought it was artist's block, but Chapter 7 showed it was discipline. Growing up, Sanaa's teachers let her daydream, and art school praised talent over effort. Her subconscious leaned toward freedom, dodging focus as restrictive. Sanaa's change began with a mindfulness course, mirroring Chapter 7. She tried focus, using Pomodoro, 25-minute sketching, no browsing. Her mind fought, checking trends, but she locked her tablet, finishing one panel. Habits grew. After breakfast, she'd draw one line. That line became pages, ideas flowed. Reflection helped. She journaled. What stops me? Fear of failure surfaced, so she set smaller goals, like one comic strip weekly. Sanaa curated her space, cleared her desk, followed focused artists, joined a critique group. Resistance lingered, self-doubt, shiny apps, but she reflected, adjusted. A year later, Sanaa published a graphic novel, her work in galleries, not because she fixed creativity, but because she disciplined her mind with Chapter 7's tools: focus, habit, reflection, clearing the weeds for her art to thrive. Conclusion: your mind, your power. How to Control Your Mind isn't just an audiobook. It's a blueprint for transformation. It strips away the myths we tell ourselves about change, revealing that our greatest power lies within our own thoughts. By understanding your subconscious, questioning your beliefs, and taking deliberate action, you can break free from the cycles that have held you back. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress, about becoming the architect of your reality, one thought at a time. As we wrap up this hour, let me leave you with the audiobook's final challenge. Who will you choose to be? The person ruled by old fears, or the one who masters their mind and creates a life of purpose, confidence, and freedom? The tools are in your hands. The battlefield is your mind. And the victory? It's already yours if you're ready to claim it. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into how to control your mind. Now, go out there and take control, because the world belongs to those who master their minds. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please remember to subscribe to receive notification of upcoming recordings. See you in next video.